evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Friends, Northeast is a region full of warm people. People here love to entertain guests with stories and good food. It is a custom in most parts of the region to offer tea to guests. Today we shall learn about a lady in Manipur who gave up her well-paying job overseas to start a business of selling teas made of herbs and local fruits. Well, speaking of fruits, there is an apple revolution slowly spreading in rural Nagaland. More on this later. When Mizoram, on the other hand, mango plantations are earning rich dividends. We start our journey in Sikkim. Sikkim is known for its cultural and environmental biodiversity. The State Handicrafts and Handloom Directorate plays a pivotal role in showcasing this heritage. Products based on the state animal red panda are a key attraction at the Directorate's sales emporium in Gangtok. Our Sikkim correspondent has filed this report.
Sikkim's state animal red panda is the only species in their taxonomic family around the globe. The red panda is also the inspiration behind the most popular products marketed by the Directorate of Handicrafts and Handloom. Besides being a hit among students and tourists, products such as red panda themed soft toys, bags, notebook covers and pen stands contribute towards preserving and promoting the state animal. Master trainer cum designer of soft toys at the Directorate of Handicrafts and Handloom, Praveen Raw highlights the product's popularity.
तो हम लोगों का जो प्रोडक्ट एक्चुअल है सॉफ्ट टॉयज के ऊपर जितना एनिमल टॉयज हम लोग ज्यादा बनाते हैं, जैसे इधर का रेड पांडा है, रेड पांडा स्टेट एनिमल ऑफ सिक्किम, तो इसका वेराइटीज बोलते हैं हम पांडा बैग, पांडा मीडियम, पांडा पेंसिल पाउच, पांडा की चेन और वेराइटी मैस्कॉट पांडा, ड्रेस पांडा, ऐसा हमारा पास मैक्सिमम 20-25 आइटम है जो पांडा के ऊपर। मैक्सिमम सेल टूरिस्ट के ऊपर ही होते हैं। पांडा तो हमारा सबसे पॉपुलरिटी चीज ही है, इधर से ले जाने का स्टेट एनिमल हिसाब से वो लोग ले जाते हैं। एक्चुअल ट्रेनिंग करने के लिए फर्स्ट फ्लोर 8-10 जना आ जाते हैं। फिलहाल ईयर में हमारे पास 8-10 जना आया है। रेड पांडा में सबसे पॉपुलर जो है, जो ज्यादा चलते हैं, पांडा बैग ज्यादा चलते हैं, पांडा पेंसिल पाउच ज्यादा चलते हैं, क्योंकि ये यूजेबल चीज है, यूज करते हैं, बच्चा लोग स्कूल ले जाते हैं, इसलिए पांडा मीडियम जैसा एंटीक बोलते बियर है, ब्लैक बियर जो होता है वो भी पॉपुलर है, वो भी ले जाते हैं। हम 3 टाइप का बियर बनाया, ब्राउन बियर, व्हाइट पोलर बियर और ब्लैक बियर, 3 अच्छा ही चलते हैं। यक भी अच्छा है क्योंकि यक भी जाते हैं। यक का और एक साइज करने के लिए सोच रहा है हम। यक का एक जो बड़ा साइज है वो टूरिस्ट के लिए छोटा साइज होने से कैरी करना वो लोगों के लिए सुविधा होगा, ये सोच के एक छोटा साइज में हम इस साल में निकलने वाले। कंटिन्यू हम नया चीज बनाते हैं जिसका डिजाइन की होगा, जैसा मार्क्स के ऊपर अभी दिसंबर 25 क्रिसमस जो आ रहा है उसके लिए हम मार्क्स बनाया, उसके लिए हम बैग भी हमारा है।
Around 25 red panda based products are being produced and marketed by the Directorate. The department expects a revival in demand for these products following the resumption of tourism activities after a slump due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It also plans to introduce new products themed on the state animal. With Sekat Sarkar, this is Pajat Sharma for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Sikkim.
From Sikkim, we now go to Manipur, where a young entrepreneur started making a variety of tea from local fruits and herbs, and it has become very popular in the region owing to its unique taste and health benefits. The 31-year-old Elizabeth of Manipur left her plum job in Singapore and started Dweller Teas, giving a unique taste and employment to many in the state. Let's hear more about this from our Imphal correspondent.
The call of Prime Minister Narendra Modi for Atmanirbhar Bharat is well echoed in Manipur. The startup of tea business from Manipur has become popular in many parts of the region with its unique taste with health benefits. Founded by Elizabeth Yambem from Imphal, Dweller Teas has added another variety of teas in the country and provided income generation to the local harvester in Manipur.
My name is Elizabeth Yambem. I'm the founder of Dweller Teas. I did my undergraduation, and after completing, I started my first job at an investment bank in London. I then relocated to a Singapore office. I was very grateful for the opportunity and the job that I had. However, I always felt that it was my passion to come back home someday and do something back home, and especially by utilizing the local strengths, particularly the fruits and herbs that I grew up with, and I wanted to utilize that, promote it in a way that can be good for the customers as well as for the people in the community.
The best thing that she employ women for harvesting these products from hills and also finance them to grow these plants. So far, Dweller Teas has produced a variety of teas made from herbs and fruits, and all are organic and good for health.
What we are doing at Dweller is that we are utilizing naturally grown, locally available fruits and herbs and making that into a very convenient form of tea. And we work with growers and gatherers. So some of the flavors that we make at Dweller are refreshing haimang, nongmangkha ginger green tea, fruity roselle olive tea, and Garcinia green tea, and we can do something about utilizing what we already have around us and trying to create new opportunities.
The Dweller Teas is expanding its market across the globe. Apart from having an outlet in Shillong, these teas are also available online and ready for shipping to foreign countries. The initiative of this young lady has reflected self-reliance and also provided income generation to others. JJ Thoksong from Imphal for Northeast Diary, AIR News.
The northeastern states, which were afflicted by militant activities and extremism for decades, are now witnessing its ebb. Most of the extremist outfits have left the path of violence and joined the mainstream because the state governments and the union government have taken a sincere approach to convince the outfits and the youth to shun the path of violence. Here is a report of our Agartala correspondent Reena on how the Tripura government is extending help to the surrendered militants.
Tripura government has doled out rupees 1 lakh each to 138 surrendered militants and their families as a financial package to improve their standard of living. The Minister Biplab Kumar Dev presented the benefits to the surrendered militants at a function held at Agartala last week. On the occasion, the Minister Dev said that the financial assistance is given as promised earlier, adhering to the pact signed with the band outfit for their surrender with arms and joining the mainstream of life. The Minister urged them to take advantage of all government schemes and establish themselves and their families. He said that the state and central governments are sincerely working towards inclusive development of backward areas and for improvement of standard of living of the tribal people. Director General of Police Rajiv Singh said that all the surrendered militants are being given vocational training so that they could get a job for themselves or else set up their own ventures. He said,
सरकार की मंशा है और सरकार चाहती है कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग यहाँ पर मेन स्ट्रीम में शामिल हो, जिससे त्रिपुरा राज्य का की उन्नति हो, शांति बहाल हो। इस संदर्भ में 10 अगस्त 2019 को नई दिल्ली में ये एग्रीमेंट साइन हुआ था और इसी के फलस्वरूप 13 अगस्त 2019 को अम्बासा में माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी की उपस्थिति में 88 लोगों ने उस दिन वहाँ पर आत्मसमर्पण किया। उसी एग्रीमेंट के तहत उन सभी लोगों को यहाँ पर एक लाठी कैंप है, वहाँ पर ट्रेनिंग कराई गई ताकि इनको स्किल डेवलपमेंट के माध्यम से आगे भी नौकरियाँ मिलती रहें। कोविड-19 की वजह से ये पूरी ट्रेनिंग अभी तक कंप्लीट नहीं हो पाई है। उम्मीद है कि कुछ समय में वो भी कंप्लीट कर ली जाएगी।
This is noted that as per the peace agreement signed with the NLFC-SD group in New Delhi last year, 88 militants laid down their arms and ammunition on 13th August last year at Ambassa in Tripura and rejoined the mainstream of life. In accordance with the agreement, all those surrendered rebels were given financial packages and skill development training batch by batch in different trades such as tailoring, automobiles and motor driving, which is still continuing. For Northeast Diary, this is Reena Nongmaithem from AIR News, Agartala.
And now we go towards Nagaland. 3 apple saplings gifted to a Naga village guard in the Saramati mountain range in Nagaland by an Assam Rifle soldier back in 1980 have triggered an apple revolution in the area bordering Myanmar. Hundreds of villagers in Sanamir under Kifire district are now engaged in cultivation of the fruit on a mass scale and are reaping commercial gains from the produce. Today, Sanamir apple has earned a name in the region for its quality and unique taste, and above all, it is organic. More from our Kohima correspondent, Asunuo.
Sanamir, mostly known for its apple, has its roots dated back early as 1980, when a village guard received this unfamiliar fruit from a sepoy from Durga Army Company posted at Pankim. The fruit has found space in the backyard farm of Yampungkwin. Since then, the future of apple has been assured in Kipuri district. Although the villagers have been growing quality apples for quite some time, it was not known to the outside world until the arrival of a missionary of the Nagaland Baptist Church Council and BCC Tanjit Longkumar. Since then, with the assistance of the MBCC and the Horticulture Department, the pastors along with the village authority introduced Sanamir Apple Festival, which was first started on September 9, 2010. So far, the village has organized Apple Festival for 8 consecutive years. However, this year, due to COVID pandemic, they could not hold the festival. Today, there are more than 40,000 apple trees in the village, with about 250 households engaged in the plantation. Village Council Chairman of Sanamir Village, Tetsimon, shares,
the economy of my village has improved drastically due to sale of apples. On an average, each household has sold apples worth 10,000 rupees, and some has crossed earning of 40 to 50,000. This year, we could earn a total of 4 to 5 lakh from the sale. The village has nearly 10 varieties of apple, but they have not done segregation of variety and sold this one species at the range of 250 rupees per box. Despite coronavirus pandemic, we could sell all our produce with village council taking the initiative in transporting the apples to different districts of the state. Our produce is mostly transported to Dimapur and Kohima. Our village council has also started another extension base of apple plantation and nursery. We give sampling to other villages. The village has more than 400 hectares of apple orchard and is still expanding. With the cultivation of apples, it has also reduced jhum cultivation, which is a good sign to stop deforestation.
Apart from apples, the other fruits which are also abundantly grown in this village are guava, banana, mango and orange. Apple cultivation has become a saving crop for the villagers, as the Sanamir villagers use their homegrown apples for juice making and fodder for pets as well. With Lipichin, this is Asunyo for Northeast Diary, AIR News, Kohima.
And now we go to Mizoram. Mango, which is known as the king of fruits, was grown in the northeastern region mostly in a non-commercial manner. Currently, though, mango trees are being grown in orchards commercially. In Mizoram, a popular variety of mango is grown by a good number of people living in rural areas. Mango plantations are providing good income to the farmers. Here is a report from our Aizawl correspondent, Irene.
In Longtlai district of Mizoram, many farmers are growing a special and popular variety of mango, which is known as Kolto mango. Kolto mango is also known as Rangkwai, meaning double-chested. This variety is a double-chested vertically, and that is its uniqueness. Since its ripening time is late in July and August, compared to other varieties, the farmers sell these mangoes in markets with a higher price. District Horticulture Officer of Longtlai, Mr. Hunlom Oma, informed that Kolto mango trees are vastly grown at Songklang, Sitlang and Kolso villages of the district. He said that the department has taken all-out efforts from giving training of harvesting to marketing to help farmers so that mango plantation grows in a commercial manner and also becomes a big profitable one. Talking to AIR News, a mango grower of Tsuntlangpui village, Mr. Lalbiakdika, said that he has grown around 2,500 mango trees and he sells mango fruits at different markets. He also set up a processing unit of mango bar, jam and jelly. From all this, he earns an average of rupees 5 lakh annually.
My name is Lalbiakdika. I am a mango grower from Tsuntlangpui village in Longtlai district. I am growing 2,500 mango trees covering 1 acre of land. I sold these mangoes in Sership, Longtlai, Lunglei and some parts of Aizawl market. I have been earning around rupees 5 lakhs every year from selling mangoes. I have received aids from the District Horticulture Department in the form of water, tanki, insecticides and others.
In collaboration with the Krishi Vigyan Kendra, the Horticulture Department has planned to organize more workshops on use of pesticides, as well as processing of the fruit into mango bar, jam and jelly, and even pickle. Hun Lomama observed that this Kolto mango will make a way out of sustainable income to the villagers in coming days. This is Irene for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Aizawl.
And well, friends, we just heard some very interesting stories from the different states, and now it's time to talk about a society that strives to create equal opportunities for everyone, particularly people of vulnerable sections such as persons who are differently abled, children, youth, and women living in extreme poverty in remote, marginalized areas. Bethany Society is a common household name in Meghalaya that has won a number of accolades and awards from the government and organizations for their contribution to society. Here is an interaction with the Executive Director of Bethany Society, Mr. Kaman Nurhona.
Welcome to Northeast Diary, sir. Can you please tell our listeners your name and the works of Bethany Society, and how long has it been here in Meghalaya?
I am Kamo Nurhona. Presently, I am the Executive Director of Bethany Society. Bethany Society is an NGO that was started in the Garo Hills, East Garo Hills, in a place called Mendal in 1981. And it was started essentially for rural upliftment and improving the quality of lives of people residing in rural areas, especially trying to improve the condition of the mother and child. So that is the way the society started. And then once people started working in the villages and going around the villages, they also came across many young people who were blind and deaf and some, not going to school, and nobody was looking after them. So from 1985 then Bethany Society also started including persons with disability in all their interventions.
What are the works Bethany Society is undertaking to uplift people with disabilities?
What we do is, our focus is not on trying to build institutions. So we don't open schools, we don't open centers and so on. If we do open them, they are only to promote our philosophy, which is essentially that people with disabilities should not be segregated. They should not be separated from the community, because 80% of them are in the villages. So our whole focus as a program for persons with disability is to try and link them to existing mainstream programs. So the focus is mainstreaming these children with disabilities into the programs of the government, which are essentially in the sectors of health, education, livelihoods, social assistance, training, to include them in that so that they become members of society who both have rights and who also then contribute to the development of society. That's our focus.
What are the other fields that Bethany Society is currently working on?
You cannot have a world that is just kind of using the resources of the earth. And so our programs are very much aligned to the Sustainable Development Goals, of the UN and our Common Future 2030. So all our programs are very much connected to nature and environment. So even if it's livelihoods, it's programs that promote livelihoods, that bring about change in the lives of people, but that do not exploit the environment. And we work with all people, with a special focus on persons with disabilities. And especially in rural areas, the major focus is on land-based activities like farming, agriculture, poultry, piggery, and how to do it in a very efficient manner using appropriate technology. So if we are doing a piggery, we are saying it should not only be for people that are in the village, it should also be for people who are blind, who are deaf, so that they can all work together. And our major focus is we only segregate garbage. that people should not be segregated, garbage should be segregated, and we actually have a project linked to the Swachh Bharat mission, which actually segregates garbage and then uses those resources for various programs. For example, we have a program on recycling of paper, recycling of water, recycling of organic matter, and how they can be converted into enterprises that improve the environment and also improve quality of life.
How are people benefiting from the works of Bethany Society?
We can look at, simple solutions and then train people to carry them out in their villages or in their localities. For example, some years ago, we actually worked with a group of 20 rag pickers, women in the major landfill in Shillong, which is the Marthen. We call them the Merry Maidens of Marthen. And they were trained to actually convert segregated organic matter into compost. And they converted it into a business enterprise. We did the full training and hand-holding, then our team, including myself, we went and to them in the landfill for nearly 3 months, and we worked with them there until the whole enterprise was set up. So for 3-4 hours they would work on this, and then for 3-4 hours they would do their rag picking, segregating, etc. So this worked, and we are also doing it on our campus here. But the way we are doing it is we are segregating the waste, and then we are actually converting it into feed for chickens. So the chickens are benefiting. From the chickens we get eggs, we get compost, and the organic matter gets converted into compost which we can sell. A lot of rural communities and government and rural markets are very interested in this program. The program is on a system which imitates nature, which imitates the forest, so there's no smell, and it's a wonderful system.
Has Bethany Society received any recognition from the government or any other organization?
Yes, we have. It's not an individual's work or so on. I think that we have very strong teams, very committed teams, especially in our village program. People maybe see the campus over here in Shillong, it looks big, and we have another one in Tura. But our major work is in about 800 villages spread across the length and breadth of Meghalaya. And presently we are working with almost 5,000 families of persons with disability. Besides that, we are also working with about 3,000 families who have either members of their family who are suffering from mental illness. And we try and give them both psychosocial and medical support and, support them in medicine. And our field workers are visiting them once a week to make sure how they are doing. And for all this, I think, yes, Bethany has received many recognitions. Got the National Award from the Ministry of Social Justice as one of the institutions doing wonderful work in the Northeast and across the country. One of our main staff members, Bertha Dakar, who is herself a visually impaired person, has got the Padma Shri, and she has also got the Real Heroes CNN IBN Award. She's got the National Award as the best teacher for teaching not blind children, but for teaching all children, for mainstreaming. And that's our main focus, that you cannot segregate people. Then we've got from the Ministry of Water Resources, we've got a national award for promoting recycling and rainwater harvesting. Then some of our staff members have got the Meghalaya Day Award, for their services for uplifting the society in Meghalaya. And last year, at an international level, as part of the UN this year, we got for promoting inclusive education as one of the 20 best projects in the world. But the real work is of the people in the villages.
Is there any plans to expand Bethany Society in other parts of the country?
We have made out our strategic plan for the next 10-15 years. And we are very clear that our programs, like our social programs, fall under an acronym called CLAN, C-L-A-N. That's Community-Led Accessibility Network, where how do we make all government programs accessible to all people? Then how do we collaborate with the government to bring about equality of all people, particularly in the areas of education and health and livelihoods. And then we have a program called CLEAN, C-L-E-A-N, Community-Led Environment Action Network, which is the focus on the way our livelihood programs are going to go. They have to be clean, especially considering the environment. And yes, already we are working as part of our network across the Northeast. But Bethany Society has a very strong policy that we will not open any branch offices outside Meghalaya. But we are open to collaboration with other NGOs, because then what happens is then we promote local interventions and we learn from each other. And we are there to share what we know, and then we also learn from others in what they are doing. So the focus is on sharing and training. So at the moment we are training about nearly 30 NGOs from different parts of the Northeast, from Manipur, from Nagaland, from Assam, from Tripura, from Mizoram, and they are carrying out similar projects. And we feel that in the long term, for sustainability, that is a much better strategy than just opening up offices. The important idea is to expand the idea and get local people to own it.
Thank you for giving us your time, sir.
You're welcome.
With a very rich history dating back to 9th to 10th century AD, Assam has seen a number of kingdoms rise and fall. This has allowed many cultures and traditions to seep in. A place with such a vibrant history will only have the best of heritage. While normally heritage conservation is seen as a state responsibility, but there are a number of individual efforts helping the nation preserve its rich history and heritage. Here is an effort being brought to you by our Silchar correspondent Ritesh Pathak.
The Chaudhary family in Barkhala area of Kachar district of Assam has been worshipping an Ashtadhatu idol for almost 3 centuries. This is not only an idol, but this is also one of the few available memories of this renowned Kachar kingdom of Demasa dynasty. The idol was handed over to the safe custody of this priest family by King Govinda Chandra, who was last emperor in this dynasty. The idol was brought from Kasi by King Krishna Chandra and was worshipped in palaces of Dimasa kings in 18th century. The idol also moved to various places with movement of these kings. Bijit Chaudhary from this priest family told AIR,
राजा गोविंद चंद्र, इनके बड़ा भाई की राजा कृष्ण चंद्र, इंदो प्रभा रानी, इन लोगों ने जो अंतपुर में जो पूजा होता था राजमहल में, वो इन देवी को किया जाता है। तो इसी के दौरान वो चलते चलते हम लोगों के पास आया, क्योंकि हम लोग लास्ट में जब रहा तो रानीघाट बोल के है काछार में, वहाँ में पहले लामडिंग, इसके बाद हाफलोंग के बाद काछार में खसपुर में, और खसपुर के बाद रानीघाट, बाद में हम लोग यहाँ पे आ गए और देवी को भी यहाँ लेके आ गए। जो बंगला माघ मास होता है, वैशाख जैसे जो माघ मास होता है, इसमें वैष्णवी रूप में देवी को पूजा किया था राजा ने, और उसी दिन में इनका स्थापित हुआ था। वैष्णवी के रूप में पूजा होता है, और माघ मास के माघी पूर्णिमा जो नाम होता है माघी पूर्णिमा, चैत्र महीना में बसंत पूजा में भी देवी का पूजा होता है 3 दिन करके। इसके बाद दुर्गा पूजा तो कंपल्सरी, नवरात्रि जो होता है ये तो कंपल्सरी, ये तो हम लोग करते हैं। और ऐसे बोल के 3 पूजा साल में 3 बार इनका पूजा होता है, और हर रोज तो रहता ही है, हर रोज तो देना पड़ता ही है।
Such remains of centuries old empires need to be conserved through united efforts of state and the society. Seeing this example, we may hope for the better future in this regard. This is Ritesh Pathak for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Silchar, Assam.
Well, friends, with that, it's now time to take your leave, but only to come back again next week with more interesting stories from the rich northeastern region. But before we end, here are some interesting facts about the Northeast. The Tabang Monastery in Arunachal Pradesh is the largest monastery in India and the second largest in the world. And India's longest river bridge, the Dhola Sadia Bridge, connects Arunachal Pradesh with Assam. With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye.